Just a welcome to everybody to night 4 of the Mental Health Awareness Week chat show. I've been practicing that all day. I had to get that out in the way. But the past couple of nights has been terrific, and we've had all sorts of topics, bereavement. We've looked at groups last night. We met some wonderful groups last night from the likes of Millport and Inverclyde, and also one or two people who organise well-being sort of businesses. And also on the Monday night, I thought was a terrific night where we had the living room involved with us, and we talked quite in depth about quite a number of issues. Mm-hmm. And hopefully tonight we could raise some of the issues as part of what we're going to be talking about. But I think tonight's idea really is to kind of look at the kind of age group between 16 and 25, that kind of young person sort of group. And thanks for coming along, Cameron, and being one of the young persons to be part of it. But what we'll do firstly, I think, before we go anywhere, is just go around everybody so we know who we are. So maybe Jim, could we start with you?
Yeah, I'm Jim MacLeod. I work for Action for Children in North Ayrshire, and I help support some of the most vulnerable, disengaged young people in North Ayrshire.
Okay, Carol?
Hi guys, I'm Carol Vogue. I'm a key worker for Start Scotland. So we kind of work with young people and adults to get them into education and into employment.
Hi.
Cameron? Right, Cameron?
I'm Cam McMenemy, and I'm here on the chat tonight.
Okay, and you're a volunteer with us as well with the Ayrshire Film?
I volunteer with the Ayrshire Film Company, doing photography and videoing as well. That's my role in the film company, as well as helping out with the editing meetings as well.
Michelle?
Hiya, me again, night 4, with Eddie, going for it. So I'm Michelle, as I've said before, community link worker by day, mum, granny, mental health entrepreneur by night. Help where we can. We're part of the Opening the Shutters group, as we've said, up in Largs, and doing it online at the moment due to the coronavirus. And basically, this is where me and Eddie got the idea to go out there, see what we can help. It's not just about our group, it's about promoting everybody and helping each other so that when we get out of the COVID as well, we can see what's going to be there at the other side and putting the supports in, hopefully, before we even get to the other side. That's what we've been talking about. Let's start the foundations just now. Let's take these steps so that when we get out the other side, excuse the phrase, before the shit hits the fan, that there is something there at the other side. So that's what we're here. We thought about young people, employment, and a wee kind of discussion about the groups tonight. So we'll let Eddie go for it.
Yeah, I think, Jim and I had a wee conversation yesterday about some of the ideas. Obviously, one of our kind of core groups that I'm dealing with, and Jim's obviously dealing with, and I think you as well, Carol, is that kind of 16 to 24 age group. Quite a difficult group, and they're going to be, well, we already know there's a big effect on that group, unemployment-wise. And it's going to be really difficult whenever we do return to some sort of normality to find, work for young people like that. And I think the reason for that, one of the reasons anyway, if you agree or disagree, is that there's going to be so many people laid off, made redundant, who will be searching for jobs. And the competition is going to be really fierce. So I'm going to start off with Jim firstly. You're working with the young people, in particular, kind of hard end with young people. Are you finding those difficulties? Is this kind of creeping up in your conversations?
Absolutely, Eddie. And again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to come on the show, and well done on you and Michelle for coming up with the idea, because I think it's going to be very, very useful, and actually I hope you continue it in some form, because as we've discussed, we all need to adapt, and things like this will hopefully help even myself learn and hear other people's thoughts, as we continue through this time. But to go to your first question, the young people that I support were mainly unskilled, no work experience, early school leavers, etc. So they're up against it straight away, So now, looking forward, if the job losses are predicted occur, even putting these young people into, you know, your basic employability courses, different things like that, that might not be good enough, because, as you said, it's going to be fierce out there with the amount of people who have had years of work experience, loads of a good-looking CV, probably good references, because they've maybe lost their job, obviously, due to the circumstances that we're facing just now. So it's a huge, huge concern, as in, you know, how do I get these young people positively participating, you know, in the workforce? So, and I've not got the answer yet, I'm afraid. So, so it's one to be deeply concerned about, I think, because, as I said at the start, they've already been disengaged for whatever reason from, I'm saying society maybe, but, you know, they've not really been active like within their communities. So it just puts another barrier up in front of them, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's very, very difficult, but as you say, you're working with a difficult group as it is, trying to find employment. I see there's somebody just joined us here, sorry. Claire Taggart, Claire.
Oh, yep, that's Claire.
Okay.
She's part of the group.
Right.
She's part of the Open the Shutters group.
We've just been Zoom bombed.
We've just been Zoom bombed.
Good way of putting it.
That's a good one. But just to kind of continue, maybe on to Carol now. I mean, we've kind of left it kind of open just now. I mean, obviously, with something like this, we're hoping that, as Jim was saying, could we, you know, continue doing more like this, working with partners, talk about ideas and how to develop the ideas and how to pick up on the ideas. You know, obviously, just now we're probably in the middle of the whole sort of quagmire of problems right now. We're maybe coming out of the COVID thing, and we're looking at the next step. Carol, I mean, what kind of experiences have you had over the past couple of weeks with the young people?
It's been up and down, Eddie, if I'm completely honest. A lot of, obviously, the North Ayrshire Council Modern Apprenticeship program's been kind of going, so we've been trying to get the young people to apply for that. And a lot of them have lost their motivation to some extent. They're scared, they don't really want to go out, they don't really want to engage outside of the home, albeit, obviously, some of them are going out, but the majority of them aren't. And in terms of the partnership working, I do think partnership working is the way forward. We need to be engaging as a community to engage these young people and to kind of push them forward and motivate them and let them see that they've got these skills no matter what their backgrounds are. A few of the young people that I've been working with have secured modern apprenticeships in different trades, the likes of JD Pierce and your trades kind of jobs. And obviously they've been furloughed, and I've been kind of speaking to a few of them that are concerned because they don't really understand what the furlough situation is. Will I still have a job? Will I still be able to complete my qualification? And that's bringing stress because they're not sure if their apprenticeship's going to be extended or if they're going to be able to complete their qualification on time, all of that. So there's loads of different stresses that young people are facing, not just about the COVID-19, but the aftermath of it. Where are we going to end up? What's going to happen to us at the end of this? And unfortunately, we don't have the answer, because I don't think even we know really what, in terms of what I do, my job isn't what it was 8 weeks ago. It's completely changed.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think we're all learning how to adapt and how we can deliver a service for the benefit of the young people, that are moving into, be it modern apprenticeships, be it colleges, or even for the adults that are finding themselves redundant and unemployed. And I guess it's just a matter of wait and see, really, isn't it? And just kind of adapt each time the goalposts get moved, right? Adapt to that situation. What can we do for them? Just to make sure that the kids are kind of well looked after, moving forward, how we're going to do that.
Claire, you've just joined us. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Claire. Myself, I'm an early years practitioner, so working within the nursery, but we're off just now, so it's like, how do we go forward? How do we do social distance with children? It's just something that's not going to be possible.
Are you finding it difficult just now handling being out of work or not even working?
During the day, yeah, it's getting hard. Just trying to keep busy, decorating, doing the garden. We're doing like online, trying to keep connected with the children and their families, sending in videos of stories, songs, doing a little bit of mark making things that I would do in the nursery with the children. I also done a wee bit of fruit kebabs the other day as well, and just promoting about getting that out there for hand wash, and just another wee tick the box for the children to ensure that it is going to be hard. It's going to be a new way, I think.
One of the topics.
Can I say as well? Oh, sorry, Claire stays next door to me. Claire stays next door, so we hear her doing her stories and her bear hunts and whatever, and we clap. So we do. We give her a clap.
Love it.
And we've been naughty. We've been naughty as well, haven't we? We were TikToks.
No. You've been naughty.
There's a surprise.
May share that one with you. We may put that on for a laugh, you know, for tomorrow. Yeah. We may put that on for a laugh. I got Claire quite funny, because you've got to have fun in this as well. She will get me back. She will get revenge.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah. So don't fall for the TikTok when you ask what the animals do, isn't it, Claire?
Oh yes.
I won't give it away. I'll send it on.
But one of the topics we talked about last night was the concept of video technology. The past couple of nights, it's raised by everybody. And when we said last night as well, say 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, who'd have heard of Zoom? You know, all of a sudden, everybody almost knows about Zoom or Microsoft, or whatever. And here we are, we're using this technology. And as we said last night, we're probably 5 years ahead of, we're fast-tracked 5 years ahead of technology. Because if this COVID virus didn't happen, would we be doing this type of stuff? Has it been, maybe to open it up a bit more, has it been, I'm not going to say the word blessing, it's not right because of what's been happening, but is it probably maybe a reboot? Maybe that's probably the best sort of phrase I can think of, word I can think of. Do you feel it's been a positive reboot for other things apart from obviously the horrible things that's been happening with the virus?
You know what, Eddie? I think, as you said, without downplaying obviously what everybody's going through at the moment, there is a positive in this, because it's made us all have to start thinking outside the box. You know, that we're having to divert from the normal kind of structure, and that's what we do, and that's the way we do it, and that. So I'm confident when all this is done, a lot of things that we're having to do now, we'll actually probably grow them. You know, we won't discard them and go back to the old way. You know, we'll hopefully grow and develop these. Now, this sort of platform is great for us. We have the technology, the knowledge to be able to do this, etc. But as we've discussed, well, it's going to be obviously technology revolution or whatever continues. And I think, is it like 2 out of 3 kids that start primary school next year, their jobs don't even exist now, because how fast technology is going to be moving, their jobs don't even exist. But again, with the young people that I support, very few of them would have the capability to even do what we're doing just now. So again, that'll be the challenge for me moving forward, is, you know, how can I support the young people to maybe get involved in things like this, you know, and where is the funding kind of avenues to maybe get the stuff. I know there is kind of one out there, but again, you know, just to kind of continue to support them and make sure that, you know, they've got Wi-Fi, they've got a smartphone or a tablet or a laptop, you know what I mean? And so we can progress this on further.
Yeah.
I'm certainly finding that I can engage more with my more vulnerable groups, like the ones that do suffer from anxiety, etc., that maybe don't want to leave the house to visit me in the office, but I can engage with them no bother on video chat because they're more comfortable, and I get more from it that way. You know what I mean? They're happier like that.
Absolutely. Well, I've started to go back out to see my young people over the last couple of weeks. But due to that kind of what you've said, and the fact that over a phone call, somebody can tell you they're okay, that they're doing all right, but they might have two black eyes. They might be self-harming, which is obviously something that really pushed me to get back out because that was happening. So, and I had a conversation with Michelle earlier on. Again, it's that, is it like 90%, 93% of communication is non-verbal, you know, so you don't really know how somebody's feeling or what they're going through until you actually physically see them in front of you, you know, so it's good to get out. But as you said, you know, if you can't get out, to have this facility, to be able to do this, to connect with your young people is definitely going to be the way forward.
Yeah, certainly. I see it coming from the kind of early years. Carol, you still there? Aye. Where'd you go? Are you there? Aye, Carol.
Carol, your microphone.
It's a screen. It's a screen.
Thought you fell asleep there.
Yeah. I'm going to ask Claire, you know, we're talking about that early years sort of period. Jim has actually mentioned that there. Young people at that age, I mean, things are going to change for them. I mean, obviously, in your kind of learning and education that you'll be working with, the sort of pre-5 group is probably right to say, is that right? Up to what, say 10, 12? Claire?
Talking to Claire.
Yeah, Claire.
Claire.
We work for 3 to 12-year-olds, but in my own room is 3 to 5-year-olds.
Jim's mentioned there, you know, the impact of having that group in years to come. You know, the jobs market's going to change. I mean, how much impact do you have on young people as far as careers, employment, education is concerned when it comes to that type of thing? Somebody like me giving them a wee bit of advice, for example, and becoming an engineer or whatever. Do you do a lot of that at that stage?
We do a lot of like problem solving skills, like right down to doing like jigsaws. We do like building. The things fit within each other, so it's like building them with life skills right at an early stage, even recognising letters and numbers just to see their abilities. But right, my main focus, myself, I just would rather a child be happy and come in with a smile and be settled, and even just play a small game and build the friendship and social skills, because you could be academically out of this world but not be able to make conversations and use that. So mine's is more, I base myself with more social skills for the children.
Did you have a concern for young people? You know, had conversations with Jim and Carol, for example, about the young people we're dealing with just now. Do you have concerns for the future for them?
I do at this moment, because time's ticking on. How's the way forward? What are we going to put in place for the children? How's nursery life actually going to work? I'm used to working with 60 children in a room. That's nowhere going to be acceptable now with social distancing. If it's going to be right up for how long, we don't know. It is a big concern, and it's scary because we don't know yet of what the way forward is.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to keep that positive face on for the children each day, and just saying hi to them, trying to communicate with them, like using their interests of what we've built up and using what they like to like make videos for them just now, just to try and make it a norm at the moment.
Carol, sorry, Jim, you want to come in?
No, it's just obviously a point that was made there about, you know, we are scared, and I think that's a thing kind of to remember as well, is, you know, the anxieties and the kind of fears that we have, you know, and we think, right, we maybe kind of know everything, and we are meant to kind of reassure and guide these vulnerable young people, you know, but for once, we maybe don't have the answers. You know, we don't know what to do, and we kind of go, all right, you've got that problem, I know who you need to speak to, I know, you know, there's a phone number, or there's that, you know, there's so many questions that even we don't have the answers for, and that's the kind of difficulty as well, when you're there to try and reassure them, to try and keep their resilience levels up, you know, but you're in a position that you don't know, you know, what is going to happen? How are we going to be working? How am I going to be able to support you in the exact same way as I did before that was successful and worked for you? You know, where, as I said, now, you know, I need to stand away at the door. There's really not, obviously for the right reasons, not anybody else going out to see them. There's no other mixing socially. But again, the other side of it, for some of my young people, as I say, some of them are telling me they've been practicing all their life for this. You know, they're just they're loving it. You know, because they've just went back to kind of what they were doing before I met them. They're just staying in the house. There's really no any difference in life. However, there's others that, as we talked earlier today, is like, in my head I thought, well, I'm going to be back to square one with some of these young people once we kind of get back out there. But I'm not. I'm going to be at minus 50. I'm going to be at minus 80 with someone, because especially over the last 2 weeks, I think it has just got too much for a lot of people who have tried their best to hang on and keep doing the right things, you know. And the last 2 weeks have been pretty tough, because as I said, some of the young people are really, really struggling, making bad decisions and getting themselves in a bit of trouble. Maybe, as I discussed, starting to self-harm and stuff again. And it's and the longer it goes on, you know, it's just becomes frustrating as us as professionals in the job that we do. It's just so frustrating because you feel so helpless, you know, at times. And that's, I think, as well, through what you're doing here in this, again, I think it's a really good platform, as I think Carol has said, you know, for communication, support, and keeping resilience levels up, you know, as staff, as workers, you know, so we can do the best we can for these kids.
Could you ask?
See what we were saying about? Oh, sorry, Eddie.
To throw into everybody just now, Carol, that I know we're running out of time. We've got about 8 minutes left, so we'll try and get as much in as we can. But one of the things I was sort of going to ask there was, we have an opportunity probably using this technology, because one of the solutions we had last night at the very end of the conversation, you'll remember this, Michelle, was that to do a tea break, a mental health tea break within, you know, using Zoom. And everybody seemed to like that idea last night. And I'm just wondering if that could be one of the first steps that we actually make towards trying to come up with a strategy as a group to come up with ideas. What would you think, Carol? Would that be a kind of thought for the Lennox Partnership and yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Certainly something we would look at. It's actually something we were talking about earlier on today, because of the amount of people that are missing this, the kind of social inclusion that you get, obviously, from speaking to people. And some of our clients have no family locally. They live by themselves, and actually engage, like I was saying, better when they're seeing you face to face. So the video call and the you know, the process hopefully of having a tea break would definitely be a good idea. It's certainly something I'll raise tomorrow with my manager. I think we'd be well up for that. Yeah,
something. But Jim, how would you feel about that?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that'd be a real positive, because I said it's really, really important, and I think especially during this time that sharing and, you know, between us as partners is really, really important. You know, it's not about ownership. It's like, if you come up with a great idea or I come up with a great idea, it's everybody's idea. We get it out there and we see what we can do with it. We see how it can grow, you know. And as I say, because we need to start really thinking outside the box. And if this thing's going to, as I said, continue, then we need to do it quickly, you know, well, for these young people, because it is really getting tough out there for them, really getting tough.
Claire, coming from your side of the coin, would you be interested in something like that as well, and linking up with the other groups?
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be interesting. Probably, I see the dog there.
Dog just like to join in. This is Roxy.
Hi, Roxy. Roxy music.
There's the mascot.
There's the mascot. Yeah. We could walk on the park with that one, Jim. But
well, I wouldn't be running in the park anyway.
That's a certainty. You're still a young man yet. But we've no experience having anybody from the kind of child education area, the preschool sort of up to sort of primary, coming along to the tea breaks that I've been running with Skills Development Scotland over the years. And I think it'd be really, really good to have guys like yourself to come on board with that, because it'd be good to hear what you're picking up from that age group to feed in to guys like us who are dealing with the kind of 16 plus types. And also, if the careers advisors within Skills Development Scotland were interested in the schools, they would love to be, linking up with people like yourself, because any young person coming through, I mean, you'll have that knowledge of that young person and their families as well.
Yeah, a good
and you
link
can pass
with
that
them.
knowledge on. And it helps to have that wee bit of something extra in your mind, and it could redirect somebody into the right sort of place. Would you be willing to be a part of that, Claire, and maybe even bring one or two other people on board?
I'll try my best. I've maybe got a few folk that maybe join in with a gentle persuasion.
Yeah, we could have a Zoom night and maybe organise it like this, but maybe concentrate again on young people and just call it young people. Don't put an age group on it. Just call it young people, and maybe bring one or two others on and see what kind of ideas they could come up with. Because I think what we're doing tonight is probably making the first step towards collaborating. I think we've all been in the kind of in the grave for about, say, 2 months or maybe 3-4 months even, because of the COVID thing. But here's an opportunity now maybe to try and grasp some ideas and start to run with them before the COVID hopefully disappears and we get back to normal.
Oh, I hope so.
I want to maybe, Michelle, do you want to kind of round off before we finish?
I do. I want to just say as well, to put it out there, is for all the workers that are still working out there, please look after your own mental health as well. And that is absolutely so important, because there's so many things going out there, but you need to still look after you, and that's really, really important. Reach out to people, speak to your friends, even the groups, they're online, you don't need to go and see them, but look after you. But because we were talking about employment and things, and with young people and that, I wanted to share a story, and it's actually my own. And I was speaking to Jim today, and I'm going to call it hope. So this is my employment story. So basically, from a young age, I had a dream of becoming a hairdresser and travelling the world. Instead of that dream from when I was a little girl, at the age of 16, my life took a different direction. I became a mum. I became a mummy to the most beautiful baby girl. That chapter is obviously over and a new one begins. Being a mum at any age is hard, but being a young mum, you get so much criticism. At the age of 17, I moved out from my family home with my partner to start our life together. 27 years later, 3 beautiful daughters and upgraded to a granny, we're still together and have went through many chapters of our life. One of the hardest chapters of my life was getting back to work. And the problem was, what the hell did I have to offer? Nothing. What experience did I have? Nothing. I applied for job after job after job, and it was soul destroying because I got the knockback. I know how it feels to feel empty. I know how it feels to feel worthless. I know how it is to have your confidence at an all-time low. I decided when my youngest daughter was in school that I could do some volunteering within our school in our community centre. And in that, there was a wee advert for a lunch club. Even though older people isn't really making a thing, or it was then, I thought, let's go for this wee club, this wee lunch club. And that saved my life. And that sounds daft, but it really did. That gave me a sense of worth, and it gave me something to do on a weekly basis that I went. I loved that club, and I loved doing stuff for what they were doing, seeing people's faces, seeing them, the worth, seeing that, people that don't see anybody really enjoyed seeing me. From that, I got a part-time job as the service assistant with the Royal Voluntary Service, and within a year and a half, I worked bloody goddamn hard. I'd done every course that they could do, and between that, I was basically the manager. I was the manager there for years. I ran 24 services. I covered North, South, East Ayrshire. I had things myself. And as I say, I am so, so proud of that. So I want to say to the people, have hope. I do not have a college degree. I haven't went to university. I have just worked hard. I have volunteered, and I've just no given up. So I'm just telling anyone out there, have hope.
I think we're less than a minute. That's really, really good. And,
I love this. Yeah, it was a great story.
And being open like that, Michelle. You want my story?